Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jen. Today's video is going to be a review of the Jeffree Star Summer Collection. I will be swatching everything for you. I have been using it, so I will give you my opinions as well. As always, there is a giveaway in this video, so stay tuned to the end to find out how to enter. The giveaway prize is a Jeffree Star Cosmetic Lip Scrub in the flavor Rainbow Sherbet. We will get into comparisons of his palette, dupes, brush swatches, finger swatches, comparisons to other palettes, and comparisons to his palette, and comparison to the Manny palette. So we have a lot to cover here. Sit back, relax, enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so here, first up, this is the cover of the palette. It has little water droplets. You guys have all seen this on the internet, so I'm not going to get too much into the box. The ingredients are on the back. This is what the palette looks like, and there are 8 liquid lipsticks. This is one of the lip scrubs he came out with, Rainbow Sherbet. I got one for myself and one for the giveaway. As always, the swatches will be up close to the camera so you can see exactly what they look like in comparison to what these swatches look like online and on his website. So you can see the difference on how they market the shades opposed to what they look like in real life. So up first, we have Parched. And keep in mind, one of the things I noticed is that the shadows feel the same as the texture in the Beauty Killer palette and the Androgyny palette, but they definitely do not swatch the same. So just keep that in mind. If you have the other palettes, I wouldn't compare this to being the same exact as those. This is the first shade, and this is Parched. Next, we have Taste Buds. Next is Bitch. And Kumquat. This is Stroke. I'm going to flip my arm around so we can do the bottom row. I will get to the shimmers last because I want to compare something else to them. So first we have Subtle, Quench, Submerge, Splash, and Drizzle. Flat shader brush, and I will be cleaning it off. I'm using a Royal and Langnickel flat shader brush, and I will clean off the swatches in between with my color switch. Up first, we have Parched. Next is Taste Buds. This is Bitch. Kumquat. And Stroke. Subtle. Quench. Submerge. Splash. And Drizzle. Okay, now we're going to get into the middle row because I have some thoughts and I wanted to show you guys some things. So we're going to do them separately. First, I'm going to do a finger swatch, then a dry brush swatch. First up is Divine. Filthy Rich. Lick. Snatched. And Plunge. For the brush, I'm going to go in dry and use a Wet n Wild flat shader brush, and as you can see, I'm picking up quite a bit of product. And this is Divine. And this is Dry. Next is Filthy Rich. This is Lick. Snatched. And Plunge. And as you can see, I am taking a healthy amount. Okay, let's get into them wet. I am using my Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Coconut Spray. And I will wet my brush first. This is Divine, and this is Wet. Got Filthy Rich. Lick. I'll even pick up some more so you can see how it builds. If you press too hard in this pan, these the product chunks up. So you have to be very careful with it once you go in wet. So you can see I have a liberal amount of product. We have Snatched. They aren't easy to pick up as either. And lastly, we have Plunge. So some of my thoughts on these. If you take the middle row out of the equation and just base it on them alone, do not get the palette, okay? I've used much better shimmers before, much better metallics. I would say that these are comparable to a pressed glitter more than I would a shimmer or a foil. They're very odd, and I will get into that when I get into the dupes. If you do have this palette, the best way to apply these is with your finger. I would not go in with anything else but your finger. It doesn't matter if you use the shimmers wet or dry. I find them to be terrible, patchy, clumpy. And if you're going to use them and you do have the palette and you want to get some use out of it, you must use your finger. Okay, so let's get into some of these dupes. We'll go through them quickly, and then we'll talk about the comparison palette. So up first, we have Parched. And the dupe I have is Babyface from Makeup Geek. Next is Taste Buds. And the dupe is Poppy from Makeup Geek. Next is Bitch. And this is Spring Break by Carity. We have Kumquat and Mac Rule. And then Stroke and Makeup Geek Morocco. Up first we have Subtle, which I think would make a gorgeous, gorgeous contour. And then this is Makeup Geek's Latte. We have Quench and Carity Sunflower. We have Submerge and ColourPop Zoom Ship. Then we have Splash and Makeup Geek Dragonfly. Drizzle and Colored Rain Hot Cocoa. Okay, let's talk about these shimmers now. The first one up, Divine. To me, these feel like pressed glitters more than they do shimmers, foils, metallics, whatever you want to call them, whatever he wants to call them. They feel like a pressed glitter, just a really soft one. I don't know why he would change the formula in this, because the formula in his metallics in his other palettes are really beautiful. The dupe for Divine that I have is Colored Rain Flashing Lights. So this is the thing with these. This one here, Filthy, this one feels okay, and it's not too bad. I don't mind that one. It's this one, and this one. These two are pretty standard metallics. They're okay. It's these three that I want to talk about. Filthy Rich is like a gold shadow with glitter in it. And the glitter is very, very, very chunky. It gets all over the place. As you can see, once you're done with the gold shadow underneath, and as I spread it out, you're left with straight up silver glitter. So at first, it's, you know, the yellow. But as you press it out, that glitter gets everywhere. And as you can see, it kind of sits on top of the powder shadow and does not blend in well with it. And it's just straight up glitter after that. So when I was applying these, and I did apply them wet, I've applied them with my finger, the glitter wound up literally all over my face, even when I was applying and brushed it away. And once I set it with a spray, it still wound up all over the place, and I don't care for these at all. And I thought a great alternative to these would be the ColourPop Super Shock Shadows. I don't have that issue with these. Now, I have quite a few of them, but I don't have a gold with white flecks, but I'm sure they have one on their site. But this is one that was pretty close. So I just want to show you the difference. These do have glitter in them, just like what Jeffree tried to do, but they don't get all over the place. They're a creamier formula, and the glitter stays put on the Super Shock shadows, so you don't have that fallout and you don't have that mess. So this shade here is Amaze. For Lick, which isn't bad, like I said, I will show you. For Lick, I have the shade Two Birds from ColourPop. And you can see they are exact. For Snatched is another one that feels like a powdery eyeshadow, and you can see the kick up and the mess that it makes. A rose gold with silver flecks in it again, and it's very messy and chunky. And again, the glitter does not stay put in the shadow. It just blends out all over the place, and you're left with glitter everywhere. So for that one, I have a dupe from ColourPop called Catnap. And the reason I like these is they stay put. And it's almost exact. And the creamier formula and the creamy texture keeps it pretty much together and where it's supposed to stay. We have Plunge, which I found to be the driest out of all of them, and the messiest and the chunkiest. And it actually feels very gritty and sandy, that you could almost feel the glitter. Now mind you, it looks gorgeous in a swatch. It looks absolutely beautiful. And I have a feeling that if you watch Jeffree's video, when he swatched this, he only went like this, and he laid it down and just went like that. And I have a feeling the reason he did that is because when you pull these out, you're left with very few pigment and then straight up glitter. And that's why he didn't want to swatch. It's just my opinion of why he swatched it. But as you can see, the glitter, how easily it falls out of the pigment, and there's nothing really holding it. So that's my theory and my opinion on why he did that. So for a dupe for that one, which is Plunge, I have ColourPop Lightning Bug. And it's exact. And you will not have the mess and the fallout and the glitter. Okay, now in getting into some comparison palettes, the first thing I thought of when I saw Jeffree's palette, immediately the middle row reminded me of Jouer Skinny Dip. With that being said, it is not a dupe, although some of them are similar. So this one and this one are similar, this one and this one are similar, and that's about it. They are not a dupe by any means, but if you already have that, I wanted you to see, do you really want his palette? Eliminate this middle row and you're stuck with those and those. So if that's something that you want, then I understand, go for the palette. But if you already own this, you may not want to dive into that. I wanted to bring that up because I've heard other people say that it reminded them as well. Okay, and as far as the comparisons of Manny and Jeffree's being the same or similar, we're going to get into that theory right now. The only ones that I found that could be similar are Subtle and Hunty. This is Subtle. This is Hunty. And they are not the same. They are very, very close, but I would not consider it a dupe. And then the blues were compared as well. So I will swatch them. This is Kiki. And this is Splash. I'm going to liven this up a little bit so you can see the colors. And I will say they are not the same. I would use them as a dupe if I were doing a dupe video, yes. But they definitely aren't the same. Manny's is a little more muted. Jeffree's has a little more vibrancy and neon to it. Then these two do not match at all, Fishy and Submerge. This is Submerge and this is Fishy. So they're definitely not dupes there. And then the yellows are Campy and Quench. This is Campy and this is Quench. And they are not dupes either. Jeffree's again is a little bit more vibrant and more neon, and Manny's is a little more rich. But Manny's is 1,000 times better, his yellow, than Jeffree's. Jeffree's is like powdery, and when I put it on the eye, it blends away to nothing. The other things that I've been seeing online, people want to know, is Jeffree recycling his shades. I have all of his palettes, so I figured I'd go over that with you quickly as well. Safe Word. And the new one, Subtle, from the Thirsty palette. So this is Safe Word, and this is Subtle. And they are not the same, but they are damn close. Drizzle and Dominatrix. This is Dominatrix. This is Drizzle. And Dominatrix is much more rich and darker. But maybe Prick from Blood Sugar and Bitch from Thirsty would be similar. This is Bitch and this is Prick. So this one's more red, this one's more orange. Are some of them similar? Absolutely. Is he recycling shades? No, he definitely is not. So with that being said, let's get into the lipsticks. First up is Cherry Wet. Next we have Fudge Pop. Then Thirst Trap. Huntington Beach. Yummy. Coral Fixation. Soft Serve. And lastly, 818. You guys are interested in dupes for these, stay tuned. I have a very big video coming up where I will be duping Jeffree's entire collection. Every product he's ever made, I will be duping in a video. So stay tuned for that. This completes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave the hashtag in the comment section down below. Hashtag JeffreeStar or hashtag giveaway. And stay tuned to find out who won last video's giveaway. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.